Thank you for visiting the Coin Lady channel again. What's happening with Jasmy is something I'd want to discuss briefly. Do you need to be concerned? How did the market fall? Make sure you subscribe to find out the long-term strategy for Jasmy. Alright, let's begin. Now that we've been exploring Jasmy for a while, it feels right to figure out what's happening. We have been riding high on the wave of a price explosion. Not only has the Jasmy market experienced a sharp decline, but the cryptocurrency market as a whole has also hit a new all-time high of $69,364. After that, it will undergo a thorough correction on the reverse side. Now, I'll examine the worldwide market cap, which is still sitting at $2.32 trillion. There is a 7% reduction in the debt, and our volume is enormous at over $244 billion. Bitcoin is currently hovering around $63.7, marking a substantial decline of almost $6,000 from its all-time high. Nevertheless, as we down the list, a great deal of red is visible. This is leading up to some of the most unprecedented bull run 2021 activity. If we narrow our focus to the top 8 or 9 cryptocurrencies, we see that Jasmy coin is now trading at $2,178, down roughly 5%. Now, there have been some setbacks for Jasmy over the past few days, but if you know the market fundamentals, you can see where we've been heading, a price explosion so extreme that we're trading at a market cap of over $1.07 billion with no volume at all. At its core, the Jasmy letter has caused an explosion. Therefore, I do not feel particularly concerned as we approach the Bitcoin halving. Rather, I believe that a market correction and cool down is necessary. Similarly, we observed a resurgence of outflows from Grayscale, with around $550 million leaving that exchange-traded fund ETF. Slightly less drastic outflows occurred from iShares or that BlackRock ETF. People are definitely positioning themselves, though we noticed additional problems with Coinbase, etc. When we get down to brass tacks, though, Jasmy and I broached the subject of their partnerships. As you can see, I am one of the primary clients of the original Mara Ashi law firm. By doing so, they are laying the groundwork for a solid foundational business and operational company during the next bull run. In light of all these endeavors, we were previously listening to a podcast from Saudi Arabia that focused on artificial intelligence. When you stop to consider it, everything that I do is powered by data, yours, mine, and everyone else's. Therefore, Jasmy Significant is essentially seated in many of these major clientele. Since their endeavors do substantially alter the storyline, everyone is expecting another surge. And it's not only from the technicals. We all know that Q4 lockups are coming, and we all know that Bitcoin halving is coming, too. And Jasmy's popularity continues to skyrocket. Looking solely at the chart analysis, it is clear that Bitcoin has had a massive correction, falling from its all-time high and plunging on the 4-hour chart in particular. After a huge decline that saw it break through the 50-day exponential moving average and bottom out around 57,000, it did breach in the upper Bollinger Band. Having all the points, auditors, means you can pick up some inexpensive bargains equally DCA and a project if you're aiming to get a better bag, which is something I constantly talk about on my podcast. What does it mean? Well, it's clear that Jasmy is far more popular. Additionally, I'm here to provide you with some background on their current work. Also, the things I'm doing and believing in are crucial. Consider Jasmy, who is presently narrating a story that is strikingly identical to this one. However, she bombed out in the 1498 area following a devastating 273 hit, thus, a considerable setback. What does that look like when expressed as a percentage? When it concerns Jasmy, it's actually quite a rectification. Approximately 40% from our previous level. This is the wild ride of a bull market, as we've discussed, massive corrections, individuals making a ton of money on projects, and a general movement towards, I suppose, more stable assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and countless others. Though this will play out, it in no way indicates that Jasmy isn't the move's best friend or that further moves are on the horizon. In the end, it doesn't imply that we aren't only preparing for that major push once more. As we've witnessed over the past few days, it's Jasmy with a huge upward rise. Also, if you were to insert a line, it would convey the true spirit of our destination. As for the location of the significant crack beneath, I'm not sure. The current critical factor is whether or not we can regain and maintain a 50% level above the 50-day exponential moving average. In my opinion, that's a highly bullish indicator, and it will only get better as we continue to rise. Looking at the February bottom to top gives you a decent idea of where we are at the important 236 line. Will we break over it? We retested the 618 level and then rose again. As you can see, there you have it. A number of indicators are pointing to a generally optimistic outlook, and we touch on the possibility that MACD may begin to reverse its recent downward trend. As a result, you shouldn't anticipate a sudden explosion here. However, we are beginning to fight back, and the RSI is showing that we are gaining momentum as well. We may witness a really robust move in the next day or two as a result of this, provided the market follows our lead. However, keep in mind that changes are beneficial. People can buy positions, which is great if you're bullish on a project for the long run, not because it's Jasmy, but because it offers you a chance to gain if you decide to buy at a higher price out to fear of missing out. In the long term, you may have reduced your dollar cost average and initial break-even price if you had entered at a significant all-time high move. The list of its benefits is long and includes basic core utilities, hardware, business relationships, and a whole lot more. You can't help but be quite enthusiastic on Jasmy, which has allowed us to take advantage of a somewhat lower pricing. Still, tell me what you think in the space provided. Where did you get the Jasmy from? Are you merely a passenger on this wave? Were you trying to buy in that large shape or push up? Is that so? As usual, I'd love to hear from you in the comments, and I really appreciate you taking the time to view the video. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. Goodbye for now.